Hey everybody, we are going to review pages 158 and 159 in your Grammar and Composition 2 book. Okay, 158. Let's look at this together. Of course, we did the first one together. If you recall, we're trying to figure out what the elliptical clause is, cross out the incorrect pronoun, and then write the function of the pronoun in the elliptical clause above it. It's either going to be subject or direct object. All right? So let's look at this. Few dogs know how many, as many commands as either he or him, and the verb is know. So the phrase is going to be either he or him, know. Okay? Dogs is the subject, know is the verb this time. So that means that we are going to be picking a subject. So whatever it is going to be a subject. And now we just have to determine which pronoun to use. Since subjects can only be nominative case pronouns, we look at our list. He is the nominative case, and him is the objective case. So we cross out him and write he here. Few dogs know as many commands as he knows. We have to make it this is a plural form of the verb. We have to make it a singular form of the verb. Okay. Captain Fillmore has served in the Army longer than either he or him has served. All right, well, Captain Fillmore is the subject, so we know we need a nominative case, so we're going to do he has served. We're going to write subject above it. Same thing. Okay. The new class schedule affected the younger students more than either we or us students. The younger students more than, no, that's not right. More than it, than we were affected or something like that. Let's see. The new class schedule affected the younger students more than it affected us, because we can't change from active to passive. So the schedule, let's do this. It, affected with an A, and then us, because if you look at this sentence, schedule is the subject, affected is the verb, and then students would be the direct object. All right, so, and us is the same thing here. It affected, schedule affected students, it affected us, and so we want to use an objective case pronoun. Remember, us is objective, we is nominative. So we cross out we and use us. Okay. All right, that one's a tough one because we're looking at the elliptical clause here. We're trying to figure out, and so it affected should have been in here if we were writing the entire clause out. Then it affected us. Okay, Justin, the new 8th grader, ran faster than they or them ran. Okay. Justin ran, subject, then them or they is going to be a subject and ran. Therefore, we have to use the nominative case pronoun. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they is nominative. Them is objective. So let's cross out them. They ran, subject. I forgot to put direct object above that one, which we have to do. Okay. Mr. Abramson sings as well as they sing because Mr. Abramson is the subject, verb, subject, verb, they is nominative case, just like right up here. Okay. The next one. The bright sunlight bothered the tourist more than something right goes right there. What is it? Go back. It's just like this one. It bothered us. Right? Objective case is necessary. So we write direct object above it. It was just like that one, just like number 4. Okay. The bout of influenza sickened Maxwell more than it sickened I or me. It's got to be objective case because it's the direct object. Me is direct object. I is nominative. So it sickened me, direct object. All right. The bad weather affected their plans more than it affected me. It's almost like 4, except that us is plural and me is singular. Right, direct object, cross out I. Make sure that's still going on, right? Actually, what they said was the bad weather affected me. But that's, I mean, you could have, I'm not sure that that matters. I'm using it because that is what we did for the others. You could have said the bout of influenza sickened me too. So there's no, you use it if you'd like. That's fine. Okay. Luke plays baseball as well as they play baseball. This one, because Luke is a subject, they would be the subject. That's a nominative case pronoun. So I'm going to mark out that. Okay. And then we write subject over the top of it. All right. There's the first section. Hope you understand that. Let's move on to exercise D. Cross out each incorrect pronoun and write the correction above it. If the sentence is correct, write C before the number. All right. We've already done the first one. The second one, who do you want to sing the solo? Okay, well, let's find the pronoun. Where's the pronoun? Well, there's a couple. You see a couple? You, but we're not dealing with you, right? Because you is going to be, it's whether it's nominative or objective, it's still you. So let's not worry about that one. It's this one, who. Okay, so cross out each incorrect pronoun and write the correction above it, unless it's correct, and then write C before it. Okay, well, this is a question. All right, so the entire, if this were not a question, it would be written like, you do want to sing the solo. Actually, you do want who to sing the solo, because who's standing in for like Jan or somebody. You do want Jan to sing the solo. You do want who to sing the solo. You know, that would be something like that. So the subject is you, the verb is do want, and then who is the direct object. So direct objects are typically or always objective case. Whom is the objective case version. So we have to cross that out. The fact that this is a question is what makes this one so hard. Okay, you do want Jan to sing the solo, or with the pronoun in place, you do want who to sing the solo, who representing Jan, right? So that's why when you ask the question, who do you want to sing the solo? That's the declarative version of it. Okay, and that's, but you have to flip it around and change it so that you know that that's being used as a direct object and not the subject of the sentence. All right. All right. I got to take a drink. This is my Coke Zero, my favorite drink. That's a demonstrative. This is a demonstrative pronoun. Okay. Number 3, Coach McIntyre, excuse me, Coach McIntyre, who has been at our school for 20 years, won the Coach of the Year award. Well, that is our pronoun. And this is our clause. In the clause, the verb is has been. Then we've got a prepositional phrase there and a prepositional phrase there. So that means that who is the subject. Okay? That means that it should be nominative case because subjects and predicate nominatives are nominative case, right? So that should be nominative case. Which one is supposed to be nominative case? Who is nominative case? Because whom is objective. That one's correct, isn't it? Because the appropriate case is being used. All right. Number 4, Tristan, to who much responsibility was given, did a fine job planning the event. All right. Well, this is the subject. No, that's not. That's an adjective. This is the subject. Was given is the verb. Let's see. That's the clause. This is a prepositional phrase. That makes who the object of the preposition. Objects of the preposition are objective case. So we have to use whom, not who. So we've got to cross out who and put whom. Always use whom if there's an object of, if it's an object of a preposition. I'll try not to write so much on the rest of these now. I'll just talk about them. Number 5, Jackie, who kept my dogs last summer, is willing to pet sit for whomever needs her help. Well, there's 2 of these. We've got who and whom. All right. Jackie, who kept my dogs last summer? Kept is the verb, so that must be the subject. Subjects are supposed to be nominative case. Who is nominative case, so that one's okay. Is willing to pet sit for whomever needs her help. For whomever, whoever needs her help is a clause, and that whole clause is being used as the object of the preposition for this prepositional phrase. For whomever needs her help. Whomever then is the subject and needs is the verb. So this was a tough one. That needs to change to whoever. Oh, doggone it. Because this is the subject of that clause. And it's meant to trick you a bit because the whole clause is the object of the preposition for something, you know. For, is willing to pet sit for Jane. Well, Jane would be the object of preposition, but we've got a whole clause standing in for Jane. Whoever needs her help. That's a noun clause standing in for the object of the preposition. So in the context of the clause, whoever is the subject, and so we have to treat it in context of the clause. All right. Now, I can tell you right now, well, let's go to number 6. Taylor is the one whom joined the rowing team. Well, aside from it sounding really horrible, we still have to go through the steps. Taylor is the one who joined the rowing team. Well, Taylor is the subject, is the verb, and then we've got one is what Taylor is, okay? And then whom This is the clause. It's in a positive, isn't it? Taylor's the one. Which one? Whom joined the rowing team? But joined is the verb, so this is going to be a subject. We've got to change that to who, because who is the nominative case and subjects have to be nominative case. Okay. The next one. Jocelyn and Madeline, who are twins, gave the cake to whomever had not had a piece yet. Well, this is the same as that. That clause is the object of preposition, so we've got to change it to whoever, because it's being used as the subject. Had been is the verb, and then piece would be had, I'm sorry, is the verb, and then piece is the predicate nominative. But because whomever, because this is supposed to be a subject and it has to be nominative case, we have to change it to whoever. Because subjects are always nominative case, subjects and predicate nominatives. But again, this whole clause is being used as a noun to be the object of preposition in the prepositional phrase to whoever had not had a piece yet. It'd be just like saying, Jocelyn and Madeline, who are twins, gave the cake to Bill. Bill would be the object of preposition. But instead of Bill, we're using this big clause to represent it. And inside that clause, whoever is the subject. I know. It's tough. Now, this is fine the way it is because who is nominative case and who are, in this clause, who are twins. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Yes, who are twins. This subject, verb, and predicate nominative. Who are twins. So that's nominative case. Okay, number 8. Who do you think will be nominated? Well, it's a question, so we got to flip it around again. You do think who will be nominated? That's the declarative version of that sentence. But who, remember, is a pronoun, and it's standing in for a proper name like Bobby. You do think Bobby will be nominated would be what it would be, and then in the question we've substituted the word who in that case. So do think is the verb, you is the subject, who is the direct object, right? Subject, verb, direct object. Who will be nominated is a clause, isn't it? That's a subject. That is correct. Okay, so now the whole clause is the direct object. You do think, so what do we think? We think who will be nominated. So that's why I got that wrong. Anyway, that clause is the direct object, but in the context of the clause, who is the subject? Okay, and so let's look at the next one. It's going to be really similar, all right? Who is going to camp this summer? Well, we don't have to flip this one around very much because there is no other option. To camp this summer, we're dealing in that case with two prepositional phrases. Let's see. So who is the subject? Is, going is the verb. Who is nominative case? So make it C. Okay. Now number 10. I will save a seat for whomever needs one. All right. So this is, for this to be whomever, or I'm sorry, you would use whomever if this is the only object of the preposition, but that clause is the object of the preposition. Inside the clause, that's the subject, needs is the verb, direct object is one. So we do have to strike that and change it and make it whoever, okay? These are tough. Next, who taught you your excellent ball handling skills? Okay, this is a question. The whole thing is the clause. Who taught you? Yeah, okay. I second guessed myself almost. Who taught you? That's the subject. That's the verb. So subject, verb. Who is nominative case. That's correct. All right. Whom did you say would be presenting their book reports tomorrow? So this one we flip around. Okay. So you did say who would be presenting their book reports tomorrow. All right. Now, since I'm going to have to rewrite this, let me write it down here. So this is number 12. All right. This is the declarative version of this sentence. You did say, subject, verb, who, because this is nominative case, would be presenting their book reports tomorrow. That's the declarative, and that would be the clause. Okay, so this is the clause, this is the subject, that's the verb. Subjects have to be nominative case. Okay, so we've got to change that to who. All right, and then number 13, Mr. Goforth, for who we have taken an offering, will be leaving for the mission field very soon. Okay, well, this is in a positive. All right, the clause is in a positive. Mr. Goforth, who's Mr. Goforth? He's the one for who we've taken an offering, right? Well, in this clause, we as the subject have taken, and what do we take? An offering for Mr. Goforth. This is a prepositional phrase, so who is not right. It's got to be changed to whom, because objects of prepositions must be objective case, and whom is the objective case pronoun, okay? Okay, now let's turn to page 159. The next page, we have exercise A and B here. These should go a little bit quicker. So let me share my screen for you. 159. All right. Cross out the incorrect form in parentheses. Now, we're going to refer to these rules above to figure out which ones. In fact, I'll leave it here so we can see the rules for the first couple. All right. My brother owns his own business. Well, my brother, he is a double subject. Number 2. My sister, she. My brother, he. We are not supposed to use double subjects. So that's easy. Stella is the girl who or which sang a solo in the service last night. Well, let's look up here. Who and whom are used for persons. Which is used for things. Well, Stella is a girl. She's a person. So we can't use which. All right. Let's go a little further. Ashley made them brownies that were hard to resist, or Ashley made those brownies who were hard to resist, or that, or whatever. Well, we're back up to here. Don't use them as demonstrative pronoun. Those brownies, I'm demonstrating which brownies? Those brownies, right? That's a demonstrative pronoun. Demonstrative pronouns are this, that, these, those. So, in the case of this sentence, Ashley made those brownies. That's okay, but them is not. And then we've got another one here. That or who were hard to resist. Well, we're back up to number for, because who or whom are persons, that can be persons or things. We are talking about brownies. So it can't be who, because who is talking about persons, right? Ashley made those brownies that were hard to resist. Okay. The pastor encouraged his or him helping out around the church. Well, the pastor encouraged something, thing meaning a noun. What did he encourage? He encouraged helping out around the church. That entire thing is what he encouraged. That phrase, all right, is a gerund phrase, because the helping out around the church, helping is an ing word that's being used as a noun. The whole clause is being used as a noun. So that would be a gerund. There's a rule about that. Use possessive case pronouns before gerunds. Since that is a gerund, we need possessive. Possessive means ownership, which is possessive. His or him. Well, if I said his bag of Takis, he owns that bag of Takis. So that is possessive. This is not. So we cross out him. Okay. Number 6. Either those or them are the animals. Who or that hibernate during the winter? Well, let's look at this part first. Those are the animals, or them are the animals. Well, it's one sounds right, one doesn't. Those are demonstrative. Those are the animals. So them can't be it. Do not use them as demonstrative, okay? And then the animals, who or that hibernate during the winter, are animals people. They are living, but they are not people. So we have to use who for people. If we don't have people, we can use that for either people or things. Since animals are not people, we're going to cross out who and use that. Those are the animals that hibernate during the winter. Okay? The chef, or the chef he made, well, that one's too obvious. No double subjects. My sister, she, the chef, he, no way. But there's another one. So the chef made the largest cake at the show by himself or by himself. Well, rule number 1 says, do not use the incorrect form his self or their selves, because those words don't exist. Okay? So we're going to cross out his self. Number 8, the boys they or the boys, well, double subject, don't use them. Get rid of the boys they. So the boys built the large tree house all by themselves or their selves. Well, if you remember, their selves is not a word, so let's get rid of it. They built the large tree house all by themselves. And next, Joy said that them or those are her skates by the door. Well, if she's saying that, she's pointing to it, she's trying to demonstrate that those are the skates. That's demonstrative pronoun. Our demonstrative pronouns are this, that, these, those. Which one can we use? Joy said that those are her skates by the door. All right? And then they are the ones that or which encouraged me or my playing soccer. Well, let's work on the first one. They are the ones that or which. Well, which is always used for things. That can be both persons or things. So we're talking about they, that's people. So they are the ones that, because which would be only things, right? Encouraged me playing soccer or my playing soccer. Well, playing soccer is the thing that they encouraged. Thing meaning a noun. This is a noun phrase, specifically a gerund phrase, because it ends in ing and it's used as a noun. We are supposed to use possessive case pronouns before gerunds. So we need possessive, ownership. My dog is possessive. Me dog is incorrect. So that means my is the possessive case. Or the possessive case. And so we cross out me. That's because of Rule 5. Right? We had already written a sentence in exercise B about Rule 3. Let's look at Rule 4 and Rule 5 and get those sentences written. Rule 4 is use who, whom to refer to persons, use which to refer to things, and that to refer to persons or things. Well, let's write a sentence that demonstrates one of those. Let's write a sentence about a thing only, okay? So we'll use which. Let's see. Let's do books again. The books which I bought are heavy. How about that? So which is talking about books. We've used the correct one. All right, rule number 5. Use a possessive case pronoun before a gerund. So we need to come up with a gerund to use. Well, let's just use running, okay? Let's make this a pretty simple let's see, running marathons. Let's do running marathons. Okay, so Dad appreciates our, because that's a possessive case, running marathons. Okay, so we've got this gerund phrase here, and we are supposed to use the possessive case, like our books, our dad, our running marathons. That's possessive, so we have to use our in front of a gerund, and that's our demonstrating of that. Okay. All right. Well, you take those corrected answers, you upload them again, showing me that they are correct, and I'll give you credit for them, and we'll go on to the next lesson. Thanks. Hope you have a great day. Bye.